Too much power in too few hands is never a small problem. Democracy does not fail only when elections disappear. It can weaken when one political organization becomes so dominant that scrutiny is dismissed as disloyalty, criticism is treated as sabotage, and ordinary residents stop believing that their questions will be answered. South Africans have learned, at great cost, that power must be challenged wherever it sits. Our hard-won democracy was never meant to give any party permanent moral ownership of the state. It was meant to build institutions strong enough to restrain politicians, expose failure, and allow citizens to replace leaders who no longer serve the public interest. That principle must apply consistently. It applies to the ANC at national level, where long electoral dominance was followed by grave governance concerns, corruption allegations, and the state capture crisis. And it applies in Mossel Bay, where the DA has exercised sustained political influence. A party's logo does not exempt it from the same tests: affordability, transparency, service delivery, and accountability. The ANC played an indispensable role in South Africa's democratic transition. That history deserves recognition, but history cannot become a lifetime exemption from scrutiny. For roughly 3 decades after 1994, the ANC governed nationally with a parliamentary majority. In 2024, voters removed that majority. This change did not happen because South Africans forgot the liberation struggle. It happened because many voters judged the record before them: unemployment, deteriorating public services, corruption, failing institutions, and a growing sense that those in power had stopped listening. The State Capture Commission remains a warning of what can happen when oversight is weak and political loyalty matters more than competence. It would be simplistic and unfair to blame every national failure on one party alone, or to suggest that every member of that party is responsible for corruption. South Africa's problems have many causes, but it is equally wrong to deny that long periods of political dominance can create complacency, patronage, and a dangerous absence of consequences. The lesson is not to replace one permanent ruler with another. The lesson is to demand credible opposition, independent institutions, a free press, competent public administration, and leaders who know they can be removed. Mossel Bay must be held to the same standard. The question is not whether the DA is better or worse than the ANC in the abstract. The harder question is this: does a long-serving local majority explain its decisions openly, accept difficult questions respectfully, and measure success by residents' lived experience, rather than by its own public relations? Residents are entitled to ask why bills rise, why loans are needed, how projects are chosen, whether infrastructure is being maintained, and whether the benefits of growth reach every neighborhood. These are not anti-municipal questions. They are the ordinary duties of a ratepayer in a constitutional democracy. Accountability is not disloyalty. Questions are not sabotage. And democracy is strongest when no one believes their power is beyond challenge. Mossel Bay Council meeting, held on the 30th of June, 2022, from 3:01 until 3:49. In this recording, the fundamental destruction facing Mossel Bay over the next 5 years is outlined through the implementation of Agenda 2030, carried out without any public participation. We, the Christian community, must withstand the imposition of this harmful system, standing together as one, united in purpose. First, the actual recording from the meeting timeslot. ACDP Councillor Jeanette Gause's objection to the Open Society policy. Secondly, the actual recording from DA Councillor Leon van Dijk's council policy statement: a national political system implemented without the consent of the community through public participation meetings. The walk-in meetings policy of the Mossel Bay municipality is contrary to the law and the prescribed procedures required for implementation.
Speaker, this is an idea first articulated by the philosopher Karl Popper and furthered all across the world by George Soros, the founder of the Open Society Foundation. Speaker, this is thus a political term, and the ACDP notes that this is the DA goal, and is stated as such in the Western Cape government document of the same name. It is noted that the policies contained therein reflect the core values of the DA. And Speaker, the ACDP does not share these values. And I'm convinced that such poor policy is what leads to poor outcomes. My concern in accepting this document, Speaker, is that at a later date, the implementation of this document will be subject to the promotion of this open society. So, Speaker, in light of the above, please note the following. The ACDP would like it minuted that we oppose the implementation of an open society agenda. And secondly, while we applaud the compilation of the LED document, unfortunately, we will not be able to accept it with a full support and endorsement, Speaker.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I would just like to state that this is a DA-run province, and this is also a DA-led council. So we will implement the DA policies as are structured, and that the mandate we have received from. Can you please protect me, Speaker? Madam Speaker, can you please protect me?
Sorry, colleagues, can we just have order, please, Councillor? Yeah, asseblief man. Councillor Kutsia, thank you very much. Can you switch off your light?
But it doesn't mean the police are for the ANC, the Constitution.
Councillor Buddha.
Madam Speaker, can you please protect me?
Councillor Buddha, you're totally out of order. Can you sit down? No. Can you sit down? Don't do that again. It's the second time today that you're jumping up and just doing as you please. No, there's not a circus, and don't make this council chamber to be one. Councillor Kamfer, please. Councillor Kutsia, thank you for your input. Can you switch off your light, please? Can you switch off your light?
I just wanted to.
Can you switch off your light, Councillor Kutsia? Thank you so much. Colleagues, do we have a counter proposal under item E152?
Speaker.
Councillor Kuntu?
No, Speaker, there was a statement on that side. We need to attend that one, firstly.
There was no point of order called. No, after I've already concluded and dealt with it. Thank you, colleagues. No, I'm not protecting. I'm making a ruling.
In response to the ACDP's mention of the Open Society and its role in implementing Agenda 2030, Councillor Kempfer makes his position clear. He states that the province is DA-run, that the council is DA-led, and that DA policies will be implemented. He then begins to refer to a mandate, but the sentence is cut short before it is completed. Every community member must ask the question, who mandated the implementation of Agenda 2030 in Mossel Bay? This is a matter of serious public concern, touching directly on the community's approval and consent. The Integrated Development Plan of 2022 to 2027 confirms the implementation of Agenda 2030. Yet evidence from the community shows that only so-called walk-in meetings were held, with as few as 3 to 5 members present during the approval process of the 2022 to 2027 IDP. Community participation matters in local government, but the question is not whether every resident personally agreed. The question is whether the proper public process was followed. Notice, access to information, consultation where required, debate, a recorded decision, and accountability. One central concern, a councillor's statement about policy and mandate was left unfinished.
2021 to 2022. Madam Speaker, just recently, we were crying about the proper consultation in terms of the IDP in our communities. We are here for those communities here.
Councillor Buddha, but we take cognizance of what you're saying. You've mentioned it in the past already, and from administration side, we will do our best to improve on what we have done so far as public participation is concerned, not only for IDP, but in all spheres of local government. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
In the first ordinary council meeting of the new board, held on the 30th of June 2026, the new board acknowledged that communities have not been adequately consulted in the Integrated Development Plan process. In response, the administration committed to strengthening public participation, not only within the IDP, but across all areas of local government, to ensure that community concerns are heard and properly addressed.